Welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss about data types. So if you remember in the last video, we learned how to create a variable. So we have used int as a data type. So how many types of data? So generally we have two data types. First one is called primitive data type and second one is called non-primitive data type. So in primitive data types, it will include integer, floating point number, character, boolean, and other data type you can see on the screen. These data types represent basic value directly and are not object. And non-primitive data type include classes, interface, array. You can see all non-primitive data type look like starting with first character as a capital letter. So always remember Java is like kind of statically type programming language. That means all variable must be declared first, then you can use. Without declare, you cannot use at all. So let's go through each primitive data type. Regarding non-primitive data type, we will not see right now, we'll see in some upcoming future video. So we'll start with primitive data type. First data type is what? Byte data type. So the byte data type can have values from -128 to +127 and it will be 8 byte signed to complement integer. I'm not going to discuss about here 8-bit signed to complement. You can check on the Google. It's very complex thing. So how you can define first? So you have to always remember whenever you are going to create any variable, first of all, you have to define the type. So type is here what? Byte. So that means you have to give the type as a byte and you can give the variable name. So I can give here age and here you can give the value. So if I give 1, 2 and I will try to print, so just type age and run. So you can see it is printing perfectly. But I told you that it has been some limit. That means you cannot give the value less than -128 and the higher value is what? 127. So let's give here 128 and now try to run. So before that you can see we are getting error here like cannot convert it from int to byte. So he's thinking like it is an integer, but in case if you run, definitely you will get an error here. So try to give till 127 only because the byte has some limit and that limit is what? -128 to 127 and the default value is 0. Currently, if I don't initialize, we'll get the error in the local variable. So for now, you can just remember the default value will be 0. So the next data type is what? Sort type. So the sort data type can have values from -32,768 to 32,767. So how you can create that sort data type? So first of all, you have to give the type. So type will be what? Sort. And you can give the variable name. So I can give here range and you can give the value like this. Definitely you will get an error because we are crossing the limit. So make sure it will be inside our range and now try to print this range. That means sort data type. Now if you run, you can see it is working fine. So you can use this data type if your value will be less. And for now you can remember the default value will be here 0. So the next data type is int data type. It will have the range here -2 to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31 minus 1. How you can define? You can define similar like whatever we have defined earlier. So type will be here what? Int and the variable name here what? We can say count and you can give the value. Now you can print that one. Now you can run. So you can see how it is working. If you want, you can take a note about the byte, sort and integer. So next data type is what? Long and the long data type having the higher range. So for now you can understand it is kind of like double of integer data type and here it will be the 8 byte. So when we define the first time the byte, it was just 1 byte, but now the long will have 8 byte. Similarly, int will be the 4 byte and the sort will be here 2 byte. How you can define the long? So just give the type here long and you can give the variable name. So I can say like age limit and you can type 1, 2, 3, whatever you want and try to use here capital letter at the end. So if you don't use, what will be happen? It will not affect anything, but the better way, like try to use the L. That means it will understand it is a long. Now you can print. Now you can run. So you can see everything is working fine. So we'll learn about byte, short, int and long. So next data type is here float, and float data type is kind of single precision 32-bit floating point, and you can use like whenever you want some value after some decimal. And please remember, the float data type should never be used for precise values such as currency, and the default value will be here 0.0f. So how you can define any float? So just give the type here float, and you can give the variable name here what count limit, and you can type the value here like 244.5 and f represents float here, and you can print. Now you can run. So currently how we have here integer, similarly they have here float. Long is 2 times larger than integer. Then similarly in the float also they have double. So the next data type is here double data type, double precision 64-bit, and the double data type is generally used for decimal value just like we have used for the float, and the default value will be here 0.0d. So how you can assign? So you can assign here, give the type here as double, and you can say the count data, and you can type here dot something, and if you want you can type here d also. That is also fine. Let's print. Now you can run. So you can see it is working fine. So next data type is boolean data type, and the boolean data type have just two value, either true or false. By default, the default value will be here false, and you can use this data type whenever you want to execute some condition, like either it's true or false. So what is condition? This thing we will learn in upcoming video. So how you can define any boolean type? Just give the type here like boolean, and you can give the variable name is what is available, and give here false. Let's print. If you run, you will get the value as false. So in case if you want to change something, definitely it will never work, because it will have either false or true value only. Don't try to do any experiment, otherwise you will get compile time error. Now you can run. You can see how it is working fine, and the default size is here 1 bit. So another data type is called character. I have not mentioned in the diagram, but you can note down the another one is called character. So it is 16-bit Unicode character, and the default value of char data type is /u 4 times 0, and the maximum will be here /u FFF. So if you want to print ABC, then you can try to play with char data type. Suppose you want to print A. So how you can print? Let's try to print. So first of all, the type will be here what char. Let's give the variable name is here what print value, and I can give here the value as 65. Once you run, you can see here it is printing A. So we will not go in the depth of non-primitive, but we'll just see only one primitive data type, that is called string, because in the future we are going to use so many places. So for now, anything inside double quotes is called a string. So how you can assign? So just use capital letter string, and you can give the variable name. So I can say here name equal to double quotes. So whatever inside the double quotes is called a string.